Right, boys and girls, another video, and I just want to ask you a little favour. Click the subscribe button. I don't ask many people to do that, but only 10% of people who watch my videos are subscribed, but on YouTube it tells you how many people watch your videos, so it tells me the same people are coming back, but they're not subscribed. The more subscribers I have, the better it is for YouTube, so they'll keep showing my videos to more people, so I'd appreciate if you can do that. Let's get to the video. Alright everybody, another video, and today this is for anybody who's in business or trying to grow a skip company, because that's what obviously I do, but any business, this is not a guide, but this is some advice from me who's grown a business. And let me tell you, we 15 years ago were just a normal council estate family. No shame in saying that. We was working minimum wage jobs, stuff like that. My dad has been in the skip industry his full life, and he was a driver, and in minimum wage, you know, just over minimum wage as a driver. And I was getting same sort of thing. I was delivering gas bottles, doing ADR, and I said to my dad, I said, why don't we get a skip company? You're already doing it as a job. I've got my class 2 as well. I had my class 1 actually, so did he. I bought a skip lorry. We did a little bit of it. It takes time to build a skip company, that is for sure, especially when you're just setting out. You've got to be cheaper than everybody else, you've got to be, you know, faster than everybody else and all that lot. And I was a young man, 25, so I was running around like a blue ass fly, getting all the jobs in, delivered, collected, sorting the rubbish out. And I, at the beginning, didn't have a permit. I was doing it under exemptions like you guys are. The Environment Agency came out, said you can't do that. I didn't have a lot of rubbish, I only had 7 skips, so you can imagine it was only a tiny little yard, and we got in trouble. But I just want to sort of like run through this. Like I always tell everybody, I'm not real good at reading and writing. I try and put this into sort of like some order, but this is good advice for any business. So I recently did a job out of town. I'm not going to say where it is because it was that clearance job that you've probably all watched. So I was out of town, and I'm not going to slate anybody. So I run a skip company in that town. It was well known. They comment on, you know, video on Facebook a lot and stuff like that. The girl on the phone who I spoke to might as well have worked at McDonald's. She didn't know about anything to do with skips. Literally, she was reading off a script. She must have had a bit of paper in front of her. She was just reading it. Not that it matters. She's a girl. Because I've got another story to come straight after this. So anyway, the girl, you know, I'm saying I've got skipped some soil, I've got skipped some waste paper. No, you know, she wasn't clued up on how it works. So just this is the first thing. What I want to tell you: when a customer rings up, make sure the person on the end of the phone can give them the answer they want. I want an 8-yarder. I want it there. I want it that time, and I want it picked up at that time. Get organised. Right, at the beginning, that's easy to do because you've only got a small amount of skips. When you're big or medium size, like we're sort of like between small and medium, I'd say. We have skip software and we book it all in. So deliver it then, pick it up. Be organised, right? So what I say to the girls is in my office, come outside with me. Let me show you what every gravel we sell looks like. Let me show you what an 18-ton lorry looks like. There's girls in my office that I would put, you know, it's not just girls because we have a lad as well, but I would put any of them against any person to know the skip industry inside and out, to know why, to know when. You know, if somebody rings up as a skip company, people ring up and they offer us different things. Or do you want to, you know, can you take a pallet of this? Can you take this? Can you take carpet? Whatever. The girls know who that job should go to. So if it's a big job, they pass it to me. If it's a medium-sized job, there's another lad here who does it. And we've got a girl here who's really, really good, better than any of us probably, at organisation. And if we get, you know, something unusual, she'll deal with it. So the person deal with your job. So that's the first thing I wanted to just sort of like get out the way. Then I tried to rent a machine on this job, and it got that bad I ended up taking a machine from Hull. Oh, I've got my mate's parrot again. out of town. I took a machine out of town to another town which was miles away because it was that difficult to rent a machine. I'm not going to slag off the company who it is, but the guy, I booked him for Friday, then he said I can't do Friday. This was a fairly big company, and then it was Wednesday, can't do Wednesday, then it was the Friday after, can't do Friday. Then when I rang up and I sort of like got the ump with him, I said, mate, you're absolutely taking the piss. That's what I said to him, you're taking the piss out of us. This is after I'd opened the account, so I had to send them deposits, I had to send them RD. And then they decided to say, right, we're going to ring one of the other branches and see if we can get a digger for it. I said, so you weren't even organised that? I said it was supposed to be on Friday. You know, if the first thing you've got to do when the customer gets on that phone is make sure you're giving them the answer they want and get that job booked in. That's it. We're talking about business now. We're talking about business, yeah? Get it booked in. I'm not a good person at reading and writing, but I do know when a company rings up or a private individual wants to skip, they want to give us the answer they want. They don't want messing about. We'll ring you back. Get it done on the phone there and then. Okay, that's it. That's my little rant out the way. That's the first thing you need. So let's say you're building up from a small truck. And like I say, keep watching this video. It's not just for small companies. There'll be some stuff in it that'd be interesting to you as a skip company. So when we first started, we had one lorry was running around, and we, as a new company, was cheaper than everybody else. So we was basically running, because I was driving lorry, my dad was driving lorry, we was basically getting less wages to get more customers. So we sacrificed a couple of years of wages, you know, we was getting a lot more money than minimum wage, what I was getting delivering gas bottles. I used to get like 12 quid an hour. Some days I could earn 200 quid and I thought I was a millionaire back in them days. But going from there, you've got to give your customer a real good service. Drop it off, pick it up, speak to them on the phone, be friends with them. You know, everybody wants a friend, everybody wants a mate who's got this company and that company. Right, so moving on from there, you've got your customers, your business is slowly building. It don't have to be skips, this can go to anybody, concrete, you know, tipper lorries. Build a relationship up with your customers. The amount of work I get from this YouTube channel when people see the stuff that I do is mad, because the world is all about the internet now, and people see you, people know you, and it's interesting. But right, okay, so we're building our company up, right? You're going to have a thing. This is what kills, this is why businesses go bust. I'm going to tell you now, right? We've gone through all these COVIDs and this and that and the other. We've never once been close to where you're like, oh, you know, if it carries on like this, we're going to shut the door. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what our secret to growth is, right? It is static costs, okay? So what is a static cost? My friend said to me years ago, who owns a massive quarry, he's got probably 70, 80 staff. I said to him, how do you run this? It's like a madhouse. You know, there's that many people at his place. He said, as I got bigger, I do twice the work and make the same money. I said, well, how was that work? He said, because we are very inefficient now. He said, and I'm going to go back small and be more efficient. So he reduced the amount of work he did and became efficient. And I listened to that at the time, and it really sunk in. You know, when you come to work and there's another bill and there's another bill, and you think, Jesus Christ. So what we do now, we have a room full of spare parts, right? This is just one part of it. So we have bearings, we have belts, we have pumps, we have everything spare in this room, consumables. And I'll tell you why that as a static cost is probably your biggest outlay. So my driver, let's say for instance a bearing goes on a trommel, I've got to send him to the local bearing man, get a bearing, bring it back here. How long does that take? 2 hours, twice a week for different things. That's £50 a week, right? If you went on, for instance, eBay or one of them places or online, you could buy them same bearings half the price of a retail place, and they'll deliver them. So there's a company we use, and they're not sponsoring me, not like that, who I use for bearings in Telford, which is a million miles away from here, and I get bearings delivered from them 10 at a time for what I would pay for 2 bearings down here. So we have a shelf full of stuff. If something breaks down, bang, it's on. Okay? What that does, it stops all the lads on the picking line standing around. It saves my driver driving backwards and forwards, and it saves all the downtime. That bearing being on that shelf could save me 20 hours, man hours, people stood around, just waiting for the bearing to be brought from the bearing supplier back to here. And that is what you need to look at, your static cost, your insurance, your council tax. I was talking to a kid the other day, and he rents a machine, he rents a container, he has different things on hire and stuff like that. What I would suggest to you, if you're not in a position to buy something of our value, if a shipping container is £100 a month to rent, you could probably build yourself a big, good shed. Not a shed, but like a, porta cabin sort of thing in your yard, for the same sort of money as the £100. And people who ring skip companies don't care what office you sat in. Let me tell you, people don't go to skip companies very often. So that's what I'm saying to you. Does any of that stuff matter? Right? That's your static cost. It's costs that recur every month, and you need to get them down. We run case machines here, loading shovels and stuff. The service intervals are every 12 months or whatever they are. We do them every 3 months, 12 weeks we're servicing them. A service, if you order your filters offline, £50. For your full filter set might be £100. That £100 might save you on breakdowns. On the big machines, what have got torque converters and stuff like that, contaminated oil and shavings and stuff hammers the drive on the machine. So we are constantly changing them, and we have very, very little breakdowns. It's one of them things. And what I would say is here, your business will be different to mine, but whatever a static cost is, and it's not about saving money, it's about looking at where you can save money. I'm not talking, there's a lot of people in the skip industry that jump up and down if they've got to spend anything. It's not about that. You can prevent it. To prevent it, all you do is make sure you've got spares. I'm going to give you an example. So our Bobcat broke down on Monday. The belt that drives the hydraulic pump, because we sell gravel, we load vans of it, the belt went, and we had a spare. 20 minutes it was back on the road. So this job here would have ground to a halt for the rest of the day. Well, I had to send a lad to AMS Bobcat, which is in Scunthorpe, which is 60 miles from here. So that would have took him 3-4 hours. In that 3-4 hours, you're going to have people stood in the yard waiting for him to get there and back. And we're going to do now, because he's not the can do. As long as your yard's clean and you can't put a brush in their hand. And that is what I'm saying to you. Them little savings, loads of little savings like that, will make your business safe and secure when it gets quiet. With tipping, you can obviously get your price down and stuff like that. The other thing I look at massively is tipping times. So if I go somewhere, there's a local tip around here, not a tip, a transfer station. You go there, you can be waiting 4 hours, no joke, 3 hours sat outside on the road waiting to tip. And if you do that every day, again, it's just more and more and more cost. So when you're looking at where you go, like I say, it don't have to be just about skips here. It could be, a supplier you've got. Cheapest is not always best. In the long run, it can cost more. But you should always be looking at all aspects of your business where you can be more efficient and not necessarily save money today, but in the long run. Don't be one of them knobheads jumping up and down and, this is broke and it's somebody's fault and all that lot. A good manager always looks to himself and betters, and that's what I try and do. Like I say to you, I'm not real good at reading and writing out like that. I just sit there with a book, write it down in me crappy writing, me crappy writing that nobody can read, and write down things that we need to order to have on the shelf or stuff like that to save time in the long run, which also saves money in the long run. For instance, if you're running a mini skip truck, them little mini skip trucks always go through PTO belts, stuff like that. Just have a spare. They're £10. If your lorry breaks down, you need to order one off me. It might be 2 days by the time I get it, put it in an envelope, post it and all that lot. You could have saved yourself 2 days of work. Think about that. Sit down, get a pen, write down where you are inefficient or inefficient, I don't know what the word is, but one way or the other. Sit down, look down and think, where am I going to be able to save money in the future, whether it be extra servicing, whatever it may be. Just think about it. And like I say, if you can do that, that is where you will definitely protect your business from this economy we've got, and you'll be safe. So this video is not sort of like where I'm giving you an answer to a question. It's one where you need to make your own answers. I'm just pointing you in the right direction. A lot of these big companies will go bust. You know, they're driving around in Range Rovers. I see skip companies, it's funny. They go out, they do a load of skips when they first start out, and they forget that all these skips are out on hire. So they're putting these skips out on hire. They might have, I'd say, 50 skips on hire at 200 quid each. They think, oh wow, look at all this money. Winter comes and they're absolutely on their ass and they fall to bits and they go bust and they disappear. With us, we are not lavish people. My van was 400 quid. That's what I drive on a daily basis, and my dad's is not much better. We you know, if it gets you from A to B, that's it. If you operate like that, you can then keep a little bit of money in your pot for Christmas when all the skips come in. You know, everybody wants to skip off hired at Christmas, don't they? Just before Christmas, everybody says, oh yeah, I bet you hire loads of skips out Christmas. Absolute opposite. Nobody wants to skip on the drive over Christmas, so they all come in. You've got a load of money to get rid of stuff. Don't get wrong, it's not going to be as busy as summer, but the difference is more skips are coming in than they're going out, so it drains all your money. You know, and again, just looking at the costs. So anyway, I hope that will give you a little bit more of an insight. This video is like really for skip companies and people in business. I know some people watch my videos that just come here to watch the fly tipping, you sick bastards. Love a bit of fly tipping, don't you? But, you know, at the same time, I like to think we're a serious channel as well. You know, and I can give you guys a bit of advice that I've picked up along the way. You know, and again, if you need any waste jobs doing or like that, give me a shout. We can come out of town or whatever, clear your site for you, or, you know, I don't suppose any people like that will watch this video, but if you want to use us for some sort of work, I'd appreciate it, and I'll see you all soon.